Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'm Sky and I'm so happy that you are here. Today in this video we're going to take a look at how my kitchen is decorated for fall. I actually already pre-filmed the decorating process, so you're gonna get to see this space really come to life and get to see all of the fall decor and how I've styled it. And I'll kind of walk you through my decision-making process and why I put things where I do. And I hope that you enjoy this video and that it brings you some fall decorating inspiration and ideas. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I am going to be sharing my fall home tour very soon. This is actually the last space that I'm going to be decorating here on camera, but I do have 2 rooms that I have not yet shared my fall decorations in, so there will actually be some new content to see in that fall home tour, so I hope you'll stick around for that one coming up very soon. I'm really looking forward to it. For today's video, like I said, we're going to be spending some time in the kitchen doing some fall decorating, and then I'll share with you how everything came together. But before we start decorating, I do want to thank today's video sponsor, which is Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. Wild Grain partners with small bakers and pasta makers across the country to keep the tradition of artisanal and nutritious food alive. One thing that I'm really looking forward to trying that is new to our family from Wild Grain is the everything sourdough bread. Unlike many store-bought options, Wild Grain uses simple ingredients that you can pronounce, and they have a slow fermentation process that can be easier on your belly and richer in nutrients and antioxidants. Wild Grain has so many different options to suit a variety of dietary needs. They have a gluten-free box, a plant-based box, and their classic box. Our box is gluten-free because I am gluten-free in the family, and so all of our goods are gluten-free and they are incredible. And that's coming from my kids and my husband too. Wild Grain is fully customizable, and I love that you're able to customize your box with your favorite products. All of Wild Grain's products are freezer to table within 25 minutes. This is honestly one of my favorite things because we are a busy family of 5 and I feel like we are constantly on the go. So to know that I can grab some of my favorite Wild Grain items from the freezer, pop them in the preheated oven, and they're going to be ready to put on the table and enjoy within 25 minutes is honestly just the best thing. Today, we are going to be making these gooey chocolate chip cookies. And as I mentioned, they are totally frozen. This is going to be so quick and easy to pop these straight in the oven and enjoy them. This fall, you can treat yourself and your loved ones to warm sourdough breads and seasonal baked goods from Wild Grain. Rumor has it they even have apple cider donuts and pumpkin cinnamon biscuits. So make sure you get those before these seasonal items sell out. These are seriously incredible. They do not taste gluten-free. They're so gooey. The texture is perfect. These are definitely going to be on repeat in our Wild Grain box for sure. If you want to check out Wild Grain for yourself, make sure you head over to the link in my video description and also use the code houseandholm. That will give you $30 off of your first box, and you'll also get free croissants for life. So make sure you don't miss out on that amazing offer, and also check out their seasonal options. Thank you again to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. Before we start decorating, I do want to give you a preview of just some of the items that I have pulled, some from my decor stash, a couple new items, and then a good bit are just kind of staple everyday pieces that we keep in the kitchen year round. So I do have a pretty sizable amount of decor out here, and I'm anticipating that we're not going to use everything. We have so many different shapes and sizes of the gourds. I have this basket from an antique store a long time ago, and it's such a fun one. It's kind of got a little bit of an odd shape. It might be a little misshapen on one side, but I might put this one on top of the fridge is what I was thinking. So we'll see, and maybe I could fill it with some gourds. I also have a round basket actually in our living room. Let me go grab that because that might be a better shape. This is the one that I'm referring to, and because it's a little bit larger and a little bit more shallow, this could actually be really pretty to put on the fridge and just pile up a few gourds in there. I have my favorite little antique candle holder with our flickering candle. The battery is actually on and she is running low, so I am going to need to replace that soon. And I've got my wooden salt and pepper shakers. These were from Hearth and Hand quite a while ago, and they were so affordable. We use them every day when we're cooking, so I love finding practical pieces that we can also use as decor in our home. I grabbed a couple of my favorite cookbooks. This one is Sunday Suppers. It's just such an aesthetic, beautiful cookbook. So this one sits out in my kitchen or in my dining room pretty much year round. And then I have Magnolia Table. I'm sure everybody has seen this one. Mine has been used and loved and stained, but there are some really good recipes in here. If you have not tried her, what are they called? Silo cookies. You absolutely have to check them out. They are delicious and a family hit for sure. Our whole family loves them. And then this is a little dirty. This is a DIY that we did probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe. We just took a really simple, cheap cutting board, I think from Hobby Lobby. I did film this on my channel a long time ago. And then we just like had some fun going to town on it and scraping it up with some different tools. But it gave that aged, worn look, and then we stained it. But honestly, for a decorative cutting board, I think we probably were all in at under $15. In my last fall decorating video, I shared this wreath from Target. It is such a pretty, inexpensive wreath, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna put this maybe on the cabinets. We'll see. I don't want it to blend in too much, but I did end up, getting a second one. As you can see, this one is new because I loved it so much in our little breakfast nook. I have just a couple of staple trays. One of them is this woven one from Walmart. And then I need to clean it, apparently, as I'm standing here looking, it is not clean. This ivory stoneware tray that we sold in our shop years ago. And it's one of my favorite trays that I own because it's just like heavy, it's kind of chunky. This butter dish I got in Goon. It is so pretty. I got it at a store there called Common Goods. And that was my inspiration for finding the picture that is right over here. This picture is from the depot at Gibson Mill, and I love it. I love bringing in the blues. That's something that's new for me this year. I'd never really decorated with shades of blue before, and I think it's just such a cute little picture. So we'll see if we can find a little spot for this one. I've also got my paper towel holder. We just need those handy in the kitchen. And then a little bowl full of apples and pears. These are wooden pieces that I got a long time ago at the depot at Gibson Mill, my favorite antique store. And if you have heard me talk about the depot before but have never seen any of my videos there, I actually just recently filmed a video there. And I went with my friend Sarah, and she filmed on her channel too, and we had the best time. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below for you to check out. And then I've got some gluten-free cinnamon swirl muffins. Really excited about those. So we'll probably put the cake stand out somewhere. I tend to keep some sort of baked good in there throughout the fall season, and my kids love it, so we're just gonna continue on with that. I've got on this side and on the other side a couple of canisters, and then I've got my lamp over here. This one I got at Target, and I really love it. It's been so great. That is a fun little pop of color. The base is kind of a green. It's hard to see here, but such a nice little pop in our kitchen. And then I also brought out this pumpkin I DIY'd last year. I've got a round riser under it that I got at Golden Oldies, which if you have not been, it's either in or near High Point, North Carolina. And it is also like an antique store, but like known for mass quantities of things. So they'll have every shape, size, and color of like a riser or a dresser or cutting boards. I mean, it is the place to go. I'm reminding myself, I need to go back there because I love taking a trip over there. And then I got a new little kitchen brush. Love this one. And then a couple of new kitchen towels. I loved these for fall. There's another one of my gourds, a little lamp. And then I also have this bread box that I have shared before. I had originally put the bread box over down this hallway, which is really dark right now. Our laundry room is such a disaster, and that's a project for another day, so I just shut the door. But anyway, I had the bread box down there, and then I ended up bringing out my bread maker so that I could maybe make some seasonal breads, and I think this will be a fun piece to add to the kitchen. And then I did end up purchasing this cute little thing on Amazon recently, and I do really like it, but the material is really close in color with our cabinet color. So I did kind of test it out, but I'm not positive that I'm gonna keep it or that I'm just gonna keep it for that room. Maybe I'll end up putting it somewhere else, but it does have this cute little hanger too. So we'll see. The last couple of things, I just have my antique rolling pins, this beautiful crock that I just got on my last trip to the depot at Gibson Mill. And then I've got, as I mentioned, just more, these probably need to be cleaned too, of my sugars and this wooden riser. So we have quite the assortment of things. I think we should go ahead and start decorating. Here is the kitchen, just kind of clear without anything in the way or on the counters. It is really dark in the kitchen this time of day, but this is the window that I have while the kids are at school to be able to film for you guys. You may notice this outlet over here that is kind of lit up. This one is from Snap Power, and we have several of these throughout our home. They are awesome. They just provide a little bit of like ambient mood lighting, but they also are great because this one in particular is their storm outlet, and when the power goes out, the lights will stay on. So I love that we have that like subtle lighting. This is the only one that we have in the kitchen right now, but I would like to add some more. So we've got the fridge. I've talked about the fridge so many times. Every time I film in the kitchen, I say we are gonna box our fridge out so that you don't see that huge black side. These cafe appliances are so large and I love them so much. We're a family of 5. We need a large fridge, but I really would like to box it out. So I said stay tuned last time. Let's just keep on staying tuned. One day, I promise. It's gonna happen, hopefully sooner rather than later. And then over here, we've got some countertop space. I have my drop leaf table. I tested this drop leaf table in the entryway. You can kind of see, but we have the dresser over there and I like that better there. So this is always a fun little spot for me to style too. This part of the kitchen is one where we just do a lot of cooking. So it has our air fryer, which I love this air fryer. We've got our toaster, and then I've got my KitchenAid, and of course the oven. So it's pretty beige. That's why I'm thinking if we can add in some pops, some woods, something over here to make it not all blend in so much, I would love that. I am thinking with this glass cabinet too, I'm probably gonna move some of these dishes because same thing, just all of the same color. It's too much. So maybe we'll put some gourds in there. That could be fun. But yeah, we've got a lot of opportunity here. And real quick, before we start decorating, I wanted to share our new kitchen rug with you all. So we had a really pretty plaid rug here before. It was kind of a light tan color, and it was a great rug, but it was a bit longer than I had wanted, and our mini golden doodle had spilled a bowl of spaghetti off of the countertops about 2 weeks ago on that light colored rug. We had it for almost 2 years and no casualties, but I had this one on my wish list for such a long time, and I didn't want to spend the listing price online because it was pretty pricey. So I just stalked Facebook Marketplace and finally found the rug at a good price. It is a little bit thicker, which I love so much. It just provides a little extra cushion and comfort as I'm doing the dishes here in the kitchen. And I love the scalloped detail. It actually goes perfectly with our green accent wall in the living room. So this was such a fun new addition to the kitchen. I think we're gonna go ahead and start with the refrigerator here and just kind of move our way around the kitchen. I have this basket, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can kind of arrange some gourds in a way that might be cute up above the refrigerator. I grabbed a couple of smaller gourds to just add a little bit of height here. And I think it's gonna look good. We'll see. I may have one too many. We may not need this one. We shall see. I think this will work. It fits almost perfectly. So there's like a little spot that's raised in the back. I might be able to squish it in there a little bit better, but I do think this looks cute. So we're gonna just go with it for now. I did clean my tray, so I'm gonna stick with my usual setup in this little corner. As I mentioned, it just is a functional little spot here. I also love to add a couple of decorative elements over here to kind of take the eye away from the outlet that's over in this corner, and then also just some nice texture with that linen cover and with the wood. I'm also bringing in my little candle holder and then my butter dish and my salt and pepper shakers. This artwork I got at the Depot at Gibson Mill a long time ago, and I love it here. It's the perfect little moody touch right here, and I love how the brass looks against our backsplash, that beadboard, and then it kind of ties in with the hardware that we have in the kitchen as well. I love to put a lamp over on this side of the kitchen, just in those like cozy evening nights or early mornings as I'm getting the kids ready for school. Just a nice little pop of warm light is so nice instead of having all of the overhead lighting. I really enjoy having a lamp here. And next to the lamp, I think I'm going to put my crock with my antique rolling pins. I love how this looks in the kitchen. I feel like it just gives that kind of vintage, rustic feel to the kitchen space, and I'm loving all of the old mixed in with the new. That is my favorite way to decorate. So I'm really happy with how this little space turned out. I like to keep the side of our fridge nice and simple. Occasionally we'll have kids artwork and things like that up here, but for the sake of today's video, I took down our little calendar that just has, you know, life details on it. And so that's why I have the little command hook there, but typically I have a calendar there. Actually, I will grab it and show you like some of the blank pages because it is such a cute little basic calendar from Amazon that I love. We have it just on that little hook on the fridge so everyone can kind of see. And I don't put everything on it, but like extracurricular activities, things like that, that the kids, they're at the age now where they can look at the calendar and see, okay, on Thursday we're doing this. So again, I haven't marked it out quite this far, but it does have a couple of different colors. Some of the pages are like a green, some are like a muted blue. So I'll try to link this in the video description for you. It's got a little spot on the top so that you can use like a command hook or something similar to put it up on your fridge. Over on this side of the kitchen, I am adding my bread box. This is going to be just a great functional piece for us in here, and it does kind of cover the outlets that we have over here. We actually don't use those. We've got a few on either side on this portion of the kitchen, and so we just don't need them. So this is a great little way to kind of tuck away those outlets that we're not using, and to also of course have our bread and things like that here just to be super accessible and not have a bunch of bread kind of piled up on the counter, which believe me, we've been there, but I try to avoid it whenever possible. This is going to be such a great piece to store some of our delicious wild grain baked goods, so I'm really excited to be able to utilize this for that as well. Next to the side of my little bread box here, I am going to put this wooden riser. On top of the wooden riser, I'm gonna put my two smaller sugar canisters. I think that these should hopefully fit perfectly there, and just, I love the mix of the glass with the wood. I think that's so pretty. So then next to it, I'm gonna take my flour and just kind of tuck that all together. Now, as I'm looking at this, I think it could be totally fine as is, but I may add, or at least try adding like a cookbook or something behind it to just, again, separate like all of the light colors that I have going on here. So let's play around with that and see how that looks. I had originally grabbed this Magnolia table cookbook, and it's a great one. As I mentioned, I do love it, but I have this Half-Baked Harvest cookbook as well, which we also love, and I'm thinking that this one might just add a little more color to that space instead of the Magnolia table that is just the beige and the white, which is kind of what I'm trying to separate. I think that could be cute. We'll see, who knows? I might end up moving it in a day or two. Let's play around a little bit with the cabinets that we have here above. I went ahead and pulled some of my items over. I might see if I can sneak in a couple of these. I think these would be really pretty and just add a nice little pop of color up there. I forgot that I have this recipe little box, and it's so cute. Had it for a few years. This was a Hearth and Hand find. Has a little brass top on it, and so we're gonna give this a go. This might be it. This might be the one. Now I'm gonna add this cute little tea towel from Hearth and Hand. I think that looks so cute there. I've got my little wreath and I'm going to add that to this little nail that I keep here just for decorative pieces in the kitchen. I'm gonna bend this just a little bit so that it will kind of hang on there a little bit better. That is so cute. I did forget to add this little bowl of wooden apples and pears to the stove top. This is something that's pretty simple to just kind of remove whenever I'm cooking. I personally love having something small here. Sometimes I'll put our little dessert stand here, and it doesn't bother me too much, especially keeping the space above the fridge fairly open. We do have that basket up there with the gourds, but I can so easily just take this, and if we're getting ready to cook and need some space free in the kitchen on the stove top, that can sit up there until we're done and the stove is nice and cool. I know that that's not everyone's preference, and sometimes people prefer to just keep this space totally clean and empty, and that is perfectly fine. That's the beauty of decorating your own home, is that you kind of get to do what works for you and just kind of fit your preferences. You might hear the pitter patter of the pups. They're making their way around the house. We are gonna move on to the little drop leaf kitchen island that we have here. So generally speaking, I like to put a fruit bowl here and maybe like an open cookbook. I really need to go to the grocery store and I need to get some fruit and some groceries in general. I'm just gonna play around with something, probably that little pumpkin dish I just showed you, and then once I go to the grocery, I'll swap it out. So just sharing, practically a fruit bowl lives on this table. So I think we can go ahead and just set this guy down here. And I think I'm going to set out this cookbook, open it up to a yummy recipe. I find when I have an open cookbook in the kitchen, I'm more inclined to flip through the pages and make recipes from my cookbook and get creative instead of just sticking to the same old recipes. We're gonna finish off the kitchen with our sink area and our bar top and just keep things simple because this space does tend to get kind of busy. We've got kiddos eating up here often, doing crafts, homework, Play-Doh, Legos, all the things, and also obviously all of the dishes and things like that that need to be done. So keeping it super simple. I'm gonna be using these little soap bottles from Hearth and Hand. We've actually had these ones in our bathroom. They have seen better days. They're not in the best of shape at the moment, but I am gonna use these instead of the labeled ones that I used to have. I'm just gonna keep my dish soap on the right and my hand soap on the left and see if we can kind of get into a pattern with that. If not, I'll switch it out, but that's what we're gonna aim for. So I have this tray that I got at Golden Oldies. I'm gonna put that down here and I'm gonna use that as like a little riser for my lamp. I have this cute little lamp from Target, and it adds a nice little soft glow to the kitchen. So I'm going to put that on the riser, and I think that will be really cute in here and just provide a nice glow at night or in the morning. I think I found a home maybe for this little pumpkin, so we're gonna see if that will kind of fit on the riser as well. I think that that is looking cute. I think that will work. And then I have this little brush, and I have a couple of different options here for what I want to do, but I was thinking it could be cute, kind of like that. Nearby, it frees up this space over here where I have dishes. I am so used to having some sort of like floral arrangement or something like a statement piece right here. So I'm kind of going back and forth in my mind about what I want to do with this little space. I'm loving this, but I'm thinking I need to maybe bring in a vase with some florals. So I'm gonna play around with that and then come back to it. So for this side over here, I kind of already set it up a little bit, but I am going to bring in our paper towels because, again, just need those handy. And then I'm also going to put our little dessert tray right here. And I think that's the perfect little spot for it. I ended up taking away the little pitcher that I had with the blue stripe, and I just brought back out this stoneware little berry bowl. I have used this in my kitchen the last couple of years to hold my kitchen brushes, and I feel like I'm just gravitating back towards it. I think that it's just an easy solution, and I've got some balance with my soap dishes over here, and then having my kitchen brush right here on this side. I decided to keep things nice and simple over here, so I brought in a vase and put some wooden utensils in there, and then I've got my candle. I really wanted that little pop of green in the kitchen, and in the evenings having this flicker on is so cozy. And then of course I've got my lamp here as well. It is very sweet and subtle. It's not like a big statement, which I think is okay, and I'm enjoying it. It'll be fun to kind of continue to tweak and play around with things in the kitchen. I honestly just have so much fun with decorating, and so I enjoy messing around with things. So next time you see it, it might be a little bit different, or it might be the same, you never know. But thank you all so much for watching this video today. Don't forget to go and check out Wild Green at the link in my video description. Thank you again to them for sponsoring this video today. I'll give you one kind of final look at the kitchen so that you can kind of see everything as it came together. But thank you for hanging out with me today and for being here for this video. If you are new, I would love to have you subscribe and join my YouTube family. It's totally free to do that. And if you turn on that little notification bell by clicking it, then you'll get notified every time I post a new